Hey 5th grade scientists, it's Mrs. Worrell here. We have a lot of new tools that we're going to use in our next science unit for FOSS. It's called Mixtures and Solutions, and as you can see here, there's lots of materials that we need to learn and know about. So I'm going to go over some of them and show you how to use them so that we become familiar and so that we don't have to review those things during class. So first of all, here I have, this thing always falls off. It's a funnel, and we use these filter papers to funnel different mixtures and solutions. So when I have a filter paper like this, it's just a coffee filter, you're going to fold it in half, then fold it again so I have quarters. And when you open it slightly, you have then a filter that if we put a mixture in, it might filter some of the things that are in that mixture so that we can separate the multiple things. Another tool we're going to use is a hand lens. We're going to use that to inspect different materials up close so we can see what they look like with magnifying glass. We also have a pipette here, and a pipe. We're also going to be using our syringe again, and I'm going to model how to use that again for you. We have our balance right here, and I'm going to show you how to use that and how to make sure it's zeroed and how to actually measure and use that. I also have my measuring cup here, and we're going to learn how to measure with that. We don't want to put too much of a material in it or not enough material, so I'm going to model on how to do that. First tool I'm going to show you how to use is the measuring cup. This is a very miniature one. In order to get 1 scoop, this is salt that I'm using. I'm putting it through, and I have a little bit of extra on top. In order to get rid of the extra, you're not going to use your hands because you don't want to be putting your hands in any chemical or material that you're, especially if you're not sure what it is. So I'm going to use a popsicle stick to push it off now. There, too much went off. Holding it flat like this is good. So now I know that this is evenly measured a cup. You don't want it to be too less like this, or you don't want it to be too much like this. You want to keep it standard because in our experiment we only just want to have one variable, and we don't want the measurement to be that. So the next thing I'm going to show you how to use is the syringe. You're familiar with it, but I wanted to remind you, in order to get the syringe to work, you got to put it into the water and you pull back on it until you get how much you want. For my purposes, I want to get 25 milliliters. So I pulled back till I got 25, and now I'm going to look at it and make sure that it's 25, and it's not. I need to go a little bit further. You want that black plunger line to be right at 25. So it is here, so now I know I have 25. You don't want too many bubbles here, because the bubbles take up air pockets. We want it to be liquid water. Now that I have my 25, I'm going to set that down. So if you look at my balance, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving. Once it stops, it's going to have this clear stick. It's going to be even with the blue line that's right here on our balance. If that's the case, if they're both equal, then we know that our balance with nothing in it is ready to go. It's ready to test. If it's not even, then you might have to adjust this tab on the back. And let me show you what that tab is. This tab this white tab right here, it might need to be moved back or forth to balance our balance. Basically make sure that both sides are even. I go back, I know that mine are even. Ours should be even to start because they're brand new balances, so we shouldn't really have a problem, but just in case we do, we always want to make sure our balance is balanced. We don't want more than one variable at play. So I'm going to show you how to use our balance. I'm going to use that 25 milliliters of water that I got from my syringe, and I'm going to put it here in my cup. And we obviously know now that that water is heavier than the empty cup of water. And we're going to use weights, our mass weights, to even out our balance. So we have the weights. They come in a bag like this, and they're all different measurements. So there's 5 grams, and we have 20 grams, and the little blue ones look like they're 1 gram. Okay, so we're going to use these to balance. I suggest starting with groups of 5 to start. So I have my 25 milliliters over here, and I'm going to start placing the 5 gram pieces in. Now, I'm not going to slam them in, right? Just like we did with our pennies. We want to be gentle. We want to separate them and make sure we're just going to start. I'm at 20 right now. It's going to start, so maybe I'm going to go with the 1 gram pieces now to see. So there's 21 grams, 22 grams, ooh, it's getting close, 23, 24, ooh, I think I'm gonna wait and see once it stops shaking. I'm gonna look at my white tab here. It looks like it's pretty close to even. I'm gonna put a 25th in just to test. Ooh, it looks like it's, yep, it's too much. See how it's leaning toward this side a little bit? So I'm gonna take that last piece out. Now I got it really rocking. If you want it to stabilize, you can do that to help a little bit. And if that white line is even with that blue line that's on our balance, then we know that we have equal amounts of mass. So my cup of water that I measured was 25 milliliters about, and 25 milliliters is equaling about 24 grams right now. I'd say that's pretty close. So that's how you use a balance. I hope this tutorial helped you to learn how to use a few of our science tools that we're going to be using here in our Mixtures and Solutions unit.